Introduction. Destroy the old you, rebuild from zero when staying the same costs too much. There is a moment when you look at your life, then realize the person making your daily choices is not the person you want to become. You see the small comforts that keep you stuck, the scrolling that steals your focus, the promises you make in the morning that dissolve by night. It is not laziness, it is an identity that quietly votes for the same decisions day after day. If you have felt that sting, you are not broken. You are ready. Pain is a message. It is calling you to end the old story and build a new one from zero. You do not need more hype, you need a clean cut, a plan, and proof that you can trust yourself again. Why change cannot wait. Stagnation shows up as chronic delays, comfort-first choices, and bursts of dopamine that leave you wide awake yet empty. You drift from task to task, your standards are vague, and your environment pulls your attention away every few minutes. Self-trust erodes. When you avoid hard truths, you carry silent stress. Then your confidence thins out with each missed promise. The cost is real. Lost years, diluted skills, missed relationships, and opportunities that slide past because your system favors easy over meaningful. Every day spent in the loop compounds the damage. Now matters because each clean decision you make today begins the rebuild and stops the decay. What this book gives you. This book gives you a simple, measurable path to destroy the old identity and rebuild from zero. You will rewrite your self-definition through actions, not affirmations. You will install systems that make high-value choices automatic, then track evidence so your confidence grows on schedule. Each chapter delivers clear steps, prompts, and tools you can run immediately. If you choose to listen to the audiobook, the narration will be calm, authoritative, and paced for reflection. No background music, so the words land and you act. You will move from vague intent to daily proof, one clear win at a time. A different approach that actually sticks. We take a different route. Subtraction before addition. Architecture over willpower. Discipline scheduled, not negotiated. Identity treated as a living system, shaped by psychology, environment, and evidence. You will learn how neuroplasticity, cognitive dissonance, and threat responses influence change. Then you will run small, reversible experiments to collect wins. The approach is practical and repeatable. No dramatic overnight revolution. Just clear standards, clean environments, and daily proof. When systems carry the load, your mood stops making decisions for you. You will experience change that survives low motivation days because the structure does the heavy lifting. Inside the chapters. Inside the chapters, you move with intention. In the pain of staying the same, you confront the real cost of drift, map signals of underperformance, and turn pain into usable energy. In breaking the illusion of who you are, you dismantle the myth of a fixed identity and craft a flexible self-definition backed by evidence. In Destroy the Old You, you remove limiting beliefs, kill destructive routines, and install boundaries that protect focus. In Rebuild from Zero, you design standards, environments, and a weekly rhythm that convert intent into action. Next, the 1% daily upgrade system gives you micro habits that compound, a strong first hour, protected focus blocks, and a simple tracker that makes consistency inevitable. Become a high-value, high-performance version of you, elevates your behaviors under pressure using reviews, boundaries, and quick resets. Finally, Never Rebuild Twice equips you with relapse-proof protocols, early warning signals, and bounce-back routines that keep you aligned for life. How to use this book to get maximum value, commit to action while you read. Treat each prompt as a decision, write it down, then run the smallest version today. Use the identity scorecard to track identity-aligned behaviors on a 0 to 2 scale, keep it visible, and complete a weekly review using PACE. Plan, act, check, evolve. Pair your standards with the daily commitments matrix so promises live in time slots, not in your head. Keep the relapse-proof protocol checklist nearby. When drift appears, run the steps and restore momentum within one day. Protect a quiet first hour, reduce inputs, and set a single priority before opening any apps. If you prefer audio, listen slowly, allow quiet moments, and repeat powerful lines out loud. Your brain believes what it hears you say while you act. Your transformation awaits. What changes when you rebuild from zero? You stop negotiating with yourself. You keep promises because your system makes them easy to keep. Your attention holds, your mornings carry momentum, and your confidence grows through evidence. You become the person who chooses high-value actions, protects focus, and delivers outcomes you respect. Setbacks still happen, yet they no longer define you. You catch slips early, bounce back fast, and stay aligned. The old you fades into memory. The new you is reliable, resilient, and unshakable. If you are ready to end the loop, cut the ties, and start fresh, turn the page. The work begins now, and the next version of you is already waiting to be proven, one simple action at a time. The Pain of Staying the Same Chapter Introduction. You already know the feeling. Your days blur, your goals drift, and your mind settles for comfort when you promised yourself you would rise. This chapter confronts that quiet reality. You will see the true price of staying the same, not as a vague regret, but as a measurable loss that touches your health, your money, your relationships, and your confidence. You will learn to read the signals of stagnation, decode why an old identity keeps winning, and convert pain into the energy that initiates change. When you see your current pattern as costly, not neutral, mediocrity becomes impossible to tolerate. The problem: identity inertia and silent drift. Most people do not fail because of a lack of potential. They fail because identity inertia keeps yesterday's standards alive. Your old self has relationships, routines, and stories that reward comfort. Over time, comfort becomes policy. Procrastination becomes practice. Your self-trust erodes. The cost is not dramatic, it is subtle. 10 minutes lost here, one compromise there, an unchallenged narrative that says, "I am just not ready." Left unchecked, silent drift becomes a lifestyle. The solution framework: measure pain to mobilize change. Change begins when pain becomes data. 3 moves power this shift. First, name the signals that prove you are living below your potential. Second, quantify the cost of same across domains. Third, tie those numbers to a clear present tense standard, then act. You do not need more motivation. You need evidence that your current pattern is expensive. You get what you tolerate. When you stop tolerating loss, momentum begins. Deep dive: signals of stagnation and energy leaks. Look for behavioral signals that point to identity inertia. Chronic delay. You over-prepare, you under-execute. Deadlines slide without consequence. Comfort-first decisions. You choose ease over effort, scrolling over skill, familiarity over growth. Overconsumption of dopamine hits. Excessive social media, news cycles, quick entertainment, endless novelty that dilutes focus. Avoidance of hard truths. You deflect feedback, over-explain misses, rationalize shortcuts. Drifting mindset. No clear daily targets, no review loop, no defined standard. Without a scoreboard, effort becomes guesswork. Energy leaks often hide in plain sight. Chaotic routines. Wake times vary, priorities shift, mornings start reactive, nights end scattered. Unboundaried relationships. People and platforms have open access to your time and attention. Cluttered environments. Digital noise, physical mess, disorganized tools, energy burned on friction. Vague goals. Ambition without milestones, plans without constraints, effort without deadlines. None of this means you are broken. It means your environment and habits are feeding the old identity. Name them. Numbers make pain useful. Implementation strategy. Calculate your cost of same. Turn the fog into a ledger. Use this for domain audit. 1. Health. Estimate weekly missed training sessions, poor sleep nights, and nutrition failures. Assign a score from 0 to 10 for energy, focus, and mood. Translate into lost hours of high-quality output. Multiply by 52. See the yearly cost. 2. Wealth. Track time lost to distractions per day. Multiply by your hourly market value. Include missed opportunities, applications not sent, pitches not made. Create a monthly total. Project 1 year. 3. Relationships. List 3 conversations you are avoiding. Note the consequence: resentment, distance, confusion. Assign a weight to each, then decide one action that would reverse it. Cost is the continuation of the current pattern. 4. Impact. Identify skills you have delayed. List the compounding effect if mastered. Estimate the number of projects not shipped. Assign a confidence score. Connect delayed output to diluted identity. Write a present tense standard for each domain. For example, I train 5 times per week. I protect 90 minutes of deep work daily. I initiate honest conversations within 24 hours. I ship 1 project per month. When standards are clear, decisions change. Real-world application. 2 brief case studies. Maya, a designer, felt stuck in cycles of late starts and low focus. Her audit showed 90 minutes lost daily to notifications and tab hopping. At her hourly rate, that was $35,000 per year in diluted output. She set a present tense standard. I work phone-free until noon and installed a single-task workflow. Within 6 weeks, she shipped 2 portfolio pieces and landed a raise. Pain became proof. Proof became momentum. Jordan, a sales lead, avoided tough conversations with his team. The relationship audit surfaced 3 unresolved issues that were costing trust and performance. He set the standard. I address performance gaps within 48 hours and scheduled direct one-on-ones. The next quarter, his team exceeded quota. Confidence returned because he stopped tolerating avoidance. Common pitfalls, traps that keep you stuck. Do not chase motivation before you clarify standards. Motivation amplifies whatever exists. If your standards are vague, more energy drives more chaos. Do not count hours without measuring quality. 2 hours of distracted effort is not the same as 90 minutes of deep work. Do not set 10 new standards at once. Overload becomes a new excuse. Start with 2 high-leverage rules and enforce them daily. Do not outsource accountability to apps. Tools help. Only decisions change identity. Key takeaways. Stagnation is expensive when you measure it. Identity inertia keeps comfort and control through environment, habits, and stories. Pain becomes fuel when it is named, counted, and tied to clear standards. Evidence beats motivation. Data creates urgency and direction. Small standards enforced daily rebuild self-trust quickly. Action items audit. Distractions for 3 days. Record minutes lost and triggers. Define 4 present tense standards, 1 per domain. Write them where you work. Schedule a weekly review. Track adherence, wins, and adjustments. Eliminate 1 energy leak, notifications or clutter, or open door calendar for 7 days. Initiate 1 honest conversation you have avoided. Set a deadline and follow through. Create a simple scoreboard, a daily yes or no for your top 2 standards. Chapter conclusion. Setting the stage for identity evolution. You now have a baseline and a map. You named the signals, measured the cost, and set present tense standards that compete with comfort. In the next chapter, we will break the illusion of who you are. You will learn how identity updates through action, and how small wins create a new definition of you that is flexible, resilient, and future-focused. Breaking the illusion of who you are. Breaking the illusion of who you are. Chapter introduction. In the last chapter, you felt the cost of staying stuck. Now you will remove the anchor that keeps you there, the idea that who you are is fixed. Listen closely. Identity is not a statue. It is a living system. It responds to your stories, your habits, and your environment. Change your inputs, and your output changes. You do not need a perfect new you. You need proof, collected daily, that updates how you see yourself. Small, consistent actions create new evidence. New evidence creates new beliefs. New beliefs create new behavior. That is the loop that liberates you. The T-Wrap, a fixed self-story. The biggest problem is the label lock. You carry legacy names, lazy, undisciplined, not a morning person, and those names quietly dictate your choices. You defend them, you explain them, you live inside them. A fixed self-story turns potential into routine. Under pressure, your brain treats change as a threat. Stepping outside the familiar can trigger doubt, social friction, and fear of status loss. You are not fighting your ability. You are fighting the safety reflex of your old narrative. The iterative identity model. The solution is an iterative identity, a clear standard for how you operate, validated by tiny experiments that produce evidence. Think of identity like software. You do not replace the whole system overnight. You release small updates, observe results, then ship the next version. Use 3 levers: story, the words you use to describe yourself; habit, the behaviors that reinforce or rewrite that story; environment, the people and places that make the behavior easy or hard. Align the 3 levers and your identity shifts without drama. The psychology of change, explained neuroplasticity, means your brain changes with practice. Neurons strengthen connections when you repeat new behaviors. That is why consistent small steps beat rare intense efforts. Your brain prefers reliable patterns. Cognitive dissonance is the tension you feel when actions conflict with beliefs. Use it. Act like the person you aim to become, even in small ways, then let the mind update to reduce the tension. Beliefs follow evidence. Your threat response spikes when you challenge the old self. Normalize it. Expect anxiety, a faster heartbeat, the urge to retreat. That is not a signal to stop. It is a sign you are moving beyond old boundaries. Breathe. Take the next tiny step. Collect another win. How to rewrite identity with proof. Step 1. Retire legacy labels. List 3 old names you carry. Rewrite each as a role-based identity aligned with your goal. Not lazy, but a builder. Not undisciplined, but a trainee who trains daily. Not a night owl, but a focused creator who protects mornings. Step 2. Craft a self-definition statement. 1 sentence, present tense, specific, behavior-based. Example: I am a focused builder who starts deep work at 8 with 0 notifications. Step 3. Select 3 validating behaviors that take 5 minutes or less. These are micro-proofs. Example: set phone to airplane mode during first work block. Write 3 sentences in your project doc. Move your body for 3 minutes before you start. Step 4. Create a safe test environment. Reduce variables. Pick a consistent time, place, and trigger. If the behavior is to write, your trigger might be sitting at the same desk, opening the same document, breathing 3 times, then typing. Step 5. Track wins visibly. Use a simple checkmark log. Every micro-proof is a vote for your new definition. The votes matter more than how you feel. Feelings follow votes. 2 short case studies. Case 1. Sarah believed she was not a morning person. She did not leap to 2-hour dawn routines. She ran a 7-day test. Every weekday, she made coffee, wrote 3 sentences for her course outline, then closed the laptop. The act was tiny, yet it changed her story. By day 7, she added 10 minutes of focused research. By week 4, she delivered her first module. Beliefs followed evidence. Case 2. Marcus felt undisciplined at the gym. He chose a role, a trainee who shows up. His self-definition statement: I am a trainee who logs 1 set every weekday at lunch. He walked to the gym, did 1 set, logged it, then left. The small promise was easy to keep. The proof stack grew, and his identity upgraded without willpower games. What derails identity upgrades? Chasing a perfect new self instead of shipping small updates. Setting goals that depend on motivation rather than systems. Hiding experiments from your environment, then slipping back into old cues. Overloading your first week, then quitting when stress appears. Treating 1 miss as a failure instead of a data point. What to remember. Identity is editable. Stories and environment shape behavior. Beliefs follow evidence. Consistent actions rewrite self-concept. Small reversible tests reduce fear and accelerate change. Role-based labels beat legacy labels. Define who you are by what you do. Visible tracking builds confidence faster than motivation. What to do next? Write your self-definition statement in 1 present tense sentence. Choose 3 micro-proofs that take 5 minutes or less. Create a consistent trigger, time, and place for your new behavior. Log wins daily in a visible checklist. Count the votes. Share your new role with 1 supportive person to reduce social friction. Schedule a weekly review to refine your identity statement with fresh evidence. Chapter conclusion. Identity is not a prison. It is a program you can update with proof. Building on the pain you calculated earlier, you now have a path out. Retire old labels, define a new role, and validate it daily. This is your turning point. Small wins, stacked with intention, become a new you. In the next chapter, we will cut the old lines. You will remove habits, environments, and patterns that keep you locked to the past. Prepare to destroy the old you so the new identity can stand without compromise. Destroy the old you, decisive cut from the past. You have already challenged the illusion of a fixed identity. Now it is time to remove the scaffolding that keeps the old you standing. This chapter is about subtraction. When the anchors are gone, change accelerates. When the triggers are quiet, discipline becomes simple. You will identify beliefs, habits, and environments that keep you circling the same loops. Then you will install protective architecture, so your desired behavior becomes the default and willpower is rarely needed. Why the old you keeps you trapped. The old you is not a person, it is a system. It is a set of beliefs that justify comfort, routines that burn time, and environments that manufacture distraction. Decision fatigue stacks up, your attention gets fragmented, and you drift. You might try harder and feel motivated for a day, but the system wins. If your phone, desk, calendar, and social circle pull you backward, your identity cannot move forward. The subtraction system. Use a 4-part framework to dismantle what no longer serves you. Identify anchors, beliefs, habits, objects, apps, people, places that keep you at your current level. Set cut lines, clear rules for what gets removed, replaced, or restricted. Install barriers and guardrails, blocks and scripts that make regression hard and good choices easy. Default productive pathways, simple pathways that reduce decisions and guide your attention toward the work that matters. Architecture over willpower. Willpower is fragile. Architecture decides outcomes. Start with limiting beliefs. If you hear, "I am not disciplined," rewrite it as, "I am becoming disciplined by proving one promise each morning." Then, gather evidence. Keep a simple log of daily wins to prove the news story. Expose triggers. Walk through your day and list contact points that hijack attention. The phone on the nightstand, the laptop on the couch, the chatty colleague, the open browser tabs. Install kill switches. Delete social media apps for 30 days. Keep your phone in a closed drawer during work blocks. Use website blockers during deep work sessions. Place a timer on visible outlets to cut late-night streaming. Put friction between you and the loop. Redesign physical spaces. Create a single-task desk layout. Only the tool for the current task, water, and a notepad. Move entertainment devices out of your line of sight. Position your workout gear by the door to remove excuses. Decision fatigue drops when the right cue is in the right place. Manage dopamine consciously. Schedule short check windows for messages and feeds, then return to focus. Replace instant hits with steady gratification, progress bars, streak trackers, and small public commitments. Protect your boundaries. Write and rehearse boundary scripts. "I appreciate the invite. I am not available during focused hours. Let me know next week." Or, "I am reducing calls to protect deep work. Please email a summary." Step-by-step destruction plan. Run a trigger audit. Write down every app, object, person, and place that derails focus. Score each one on impact, high, medium, low. Set cut lines. Choose 3 high-impact items to remove or restrict today. For apps, delete. For objects, relocate. For people, reduce exposure or set a clear boundary. Create deep work containers, 2 daily blocks of 90 minutes. Phone in a drawer, browser blocker on, single task list on paper. Execute a notification purge. Disable non-essential alerts. Keep only calendar, calls from family, and 1 priority app. Add guardrails, a public start time for your morning block, a pre-scheduled break, and an evening shutdown checklist that closes open loops. Install replacement loops. Swap scrolling for a 10-minute walk, swap late snacks for herbal tea, swap reactive email for a 10-minute planning run. Case studies of clean breaks. Amir was a talented developer who could not ship. His triggers were late-night gaming and endless tech news. He set a cut line for weeknights, console unplugged and stored, news feeds deleted, and 1 90-minute container after dinner. He shipped a side project in 6 weeks, then used that evidence to raise his standards at work. Jess worked in sales and dreaded mornings. The phone on the nightstand pulled her into messages before sunrise. She created a new cue, phone charging in the kitchen, alarm on a simple clock, and a 3-step morning chain. Water, 10 squats, 2 pages of planning. Within 2 weeks, she reported calm mornings and few error-missed follow-ups. What rips you up? Removing too much at once. Start with 3 high-impact cuts, then add more after 7 days. Vague boundaries. Scripts must be short and repeatable. Write them down and rehearse them. Hitting triggers. You remove apps but keep bookmarks. Delete both and clear history. Empty space with no replacement. Cut loops need a planned substitute. Walk, stretch, read, call a friend. Core principles to remember. Subtraction precedes addition. Remove friction before adding ambition. Environment beats willpower. Design decides behavior. Hard boundaries expand freedom. Fewer decisions create better focus. Artifacts shape identity. Remove relics of the old self to change faster. Next steps to execute today. Choose 3 cuts. 1 app, 1 object, 1 commitment. Remove them now. Schedule 2 focus containers, 90 minutes each, non-negotiable. Write 2 boundary scripts. Rehearse them aloud twice. Complete a notification purge. Keep only essentials. Create 1 replacement loop. Decide your go-to break activity. Bridge to the new you. You are not fighting yourself, you are redesigning your system. With subtraction, the old scaffolding falls away. Your attention returns, your standards rise, and consistency becomes normal. In the next chapter, you will rebuild from zero. You will design a clean slate with clear standards, simple routines, and an operating system that turns intent into results. Rebuild from zero. Rebuild from zero. Chapter Introduction. You cleared space in Destroy the Old You. Now we turn the empty room into a disciplined studio. Zero is not emptiness, it is freedom. At zero, you have no baggage, no inherited rules, just the power to choose what belongs in your life. In this chapter, you will design a personal operating system that converts intent into action. You will craft simple standards, lock them to routines, align your environment, and track execution with a scorecard. The goal is relief, fewer decisions, more clarity, and daily evidence that your new identity is real. The problem, after cutting old patterns, many people drift. The calendar is open, the phone is quiet, yet progress feels vague. Without defined standards and systems, motivation becomes your fuel. Motivation is inconsistent. What you need is clarity you can execute on, even on tired days. The solution framework. Use the 0-day blueprint. It has 5 parts. Values and roles. Choose 3 core values and 3 roles that matter most in this season. For example, builder, athlete, leader. Non-negotiables. Define minimums for sleep, movement, deep work, and relationships. These are floors, not ceilings. Standards to behaviors. Translate standards into visible actions that can be counted. Environment alignment. Design cues and tools that make the right actions easier and faster. Rhythm and tracking. Set a North Star outcome, build a weekly rhythm builder, and score execution with an identity scorecard. Deep dive values and roles. Values guide choices when life gets noisy. If you choose courage, discipline, and service, they become filters. Roles make identity concrete. A builder ships work. An athlete trains daily. A leader models calm and clarity. Write 1 sentence for each role that describes how you show up. Non-negotiables. Floors protect momentum. Examples: 7 hours of sleep minimum, 20 minutes of training minimum, 90 minutes of focused work minimum, 10 minutes of connection minimum. Floors create a daily win even when life is chaotic. Standards to behaviors. Make standards measurable and behavior first. Instead of be fit, use train for 20 minutes before work. Instead of be productive, use 1 90-minute deep work block before noon. Instead of be present, use phone in another room during dinner. If it cannot be measured today, it will not be repeated tomorrow. Environment alignment. Your environment should whisper the next right action. Place a water bottle on the desk. Put your running shoes next to the bed. Keep a single notebook open with your top task written. Remove friction. Make distractions inconvenient. Place tools in the path of your routines. Rhythm and tracking. Choose a North Star for the next 90 days. For example, ship 1 meaningful project, or run a half marathon, or lead a team reset. Break the North Star into weekly outcomes. Then track behaviors daily with an identity scorecard. Give yourself 1 point for each non-negotiable completed. Review totals every week to adjust. Implementation strategy 1. Name 3 values and 3 roles. Write 1 sentence for each role. 2. Set 4 non-negotiables with clear minimums: sleep, movement, deep work, connection. 3. Convert each standard into 1 daily behavior you can count. 4. Place 3 environmental cues where they will be seen at the right time: desk, kitchen, bedroom. 5. Write a 90-day North Star with 3 weekly outcomes for the first week. 6. Build your identity scorecard, 5 to 7 behaviors, 1 point each day. 7. Create a keystone habit chain: morning anchor, midday reset, evening review. 8. Schedule a weekly rhythm builder, plan on Sunday, execute Monday to Friday, review on Saturday. Real-world application case study, Marco, software developer. After Chapter 3, he removed social apps from his phone and blocked websites. Rebuild from zero started with roles: builder, athlete, partner. Non-negotiables: 7 hours sleep, 20-minute run, 90-minute code block before stand-up. He placed running shoes by the door and a sticky note on his monitor with his top task. In 8 weeks, his identity scorecard showed 48 deep work blocks and consistent training. He shipped a feature ahead of schedule and reported feeling calm. Case study, Aisha, nurse and graduate student. She set roles: healer, scholar, sister. Floors: 6.5 hours sleep, 10-minute mobility, 45-minute study, text one family member daily. She kept flashcards in her bag and used a kitchen timer for study sprints. Her weekly rhythm builder included planning meals and scheduling 2 library sessions. In 2 months, her grades improved and her energy stabilized. Common pitfalls: vague standards. If your standard is abstract, you will negotiate with it. Make it countable. Too many behaviors. 7 core behaviors is plenty. More creates decision fatigue. Ignoring environment. Willpower fails when the environment fights you. Design cues before you design goals. Outcome obsession. Outcomes are lagging. Identity is leading. Score behaviors first. No weekly review. Without reflection, drift returns. Plan, execute, review is the engine. Key takeaways. 0 is freedom to choose standards, systems, and environments that fit your next self. Values and roles turn identity into daily choices you can see. Floors, not ceilings, create reliable wins and protect momentum. Measurable behaviors beat vague intentions. You can count them and repeat them. Environment alignment reduces friction and increases follow-through. A North Star plus a weekly rhythm keeps action meaningful and consistent. Action items. Write your values and roles on one index card and keep it visible. Define 4 non-negotiable floors and add them to your calendar as recurring events. Create an identity scorecard with 7 rows and track for 1 week. Build a keystone habit chain, morning, midday, evening, and attach physical cues. Schedule your weekly rhythm builder for next Sunday and prepare 1-page plan. Chapter conclusion. Rebuilding from 0 is a relief. You cut the noise in Destroy the Old You. Now you have a simple framework that turns intent into execution, day after day. In the next chapter, the 1% daily upgrade system, you will install micro-habits that compound inside this blueprint, so your new identity becomes your default even when motivation is low. The 1% Daily Upgrade System, Chapter 5. The 1% Daily Upgrade System, Chapter Introduction. You rebuilt from 0 in the last chapter, and you set standards that feel clean and powerful. Now you need a daily engine that turns those standards into evidence. The 1% system is that engine, a quiet force that makes your new identity inevitable. This chapter gives you a rhythm that survives low motivation days. You will create micro-commitments, install simple triggers, and track identity-aligned behaviors. The result is compounding confidence, built one small win at a time. The problem. Most people chase intensity, then crash. Motivation spikes, then vanishes. Plans look heroic in the morning, then feel impossible by afternoon. Without a reliable operating system, momentum dies, and the old self slips back into the driver's seat. The real problem is negotiation. You negotiate with feelings, with distractions, and with fatigue. You wait for perfect conditions. The day gets decided by everything except your standards. The solution framework. The 1% system replaces motivation with scheduled discipline. It is built on 4 pillars: tiny starts, the 2-minute momentum rule, behavioral architecture, habit stacking, trigger mapping, and reward pairing. Time slots, the daily commitments matrix, evidence, the 1% upgrade tracker, and the trigger action reward loop. Deep dive 2-minute momentum rule. Start every important behavior with a 2-minute entry point. 2 minutes is too small to fail, and it breaks resistance. If your standard is daily training, begin with 2 minutes of mobility. If writing is your craft, write 1 sentence. Action creates readiness. Readiness rarely creates action. Habit stacking. Attach new behaviors to existing anchors. After brewing coffee, open your planner. After your first meeting, stand and stretch. After dinner, prepare tomorrow's outfit and workspace. Stacks remove decision fatigue because the next action is already cued. Trigger mapping. Define a clear cue for each behavior. Time-based triggers, location-based triggers, and emotional triggers all work. Example, at 7 a.m., at your desk, after you feel anxious, breathe for 4 counts and exhale for 6 counts. The more specific the trigger, the faster the behavior becomes automatic. Reward pairing. Add a small immediate reward to reinforce the loop. After your focus block, check a box on your tracker and sip a favorite tea. After your workout, read a page of a novel. Immediate, clean rewards wire the habit faster. Daily commitments matrix. Convert standards into time slots. 4 simple quadrants guide your day. First hour, identity priming and a high-quality start. Deep work blocks, protected focus on one priority at a time. Maintenance, small tasks and communication windows. Wind down, reflection and reset. The TR loop, the trigger, action, reward loop, is your wiring diagram. Trigger starts the behavior. Action is the behavior. Reward seals the loop. Repeat until automatic. Implementation strategy. Step 1. Design your first hour wake at a consistent time. Drink water, breathe for 1 minute, and silence your inputs. Review the daily commitments matrix. Complete 1 2-minute momentum start for your keystone habit. Move your body for 5 to 10 minutes. Step 2. Protect 2 focus blocks. Choose 1 priority per block. Set a timer for 50 minutes. Put the phone in another room. Use a single task list with the next 3 actions only. Step 3. Build 3 habit stacks. After coffee, plan the day in 3 bullets. After lunch, 5-minute walk and inbox zero sprint for 10 minutes. After dinner, prepare for tomorrow. Outfit, tools, and top 3. Step 4. Create your daily commitments matrix. Slot first hour. Slot 2 deep work blocks. Slot 2 maintenance windows. Slot wind down, 10 minutes of reflection. Step 5. Install the 1% upgrade tracker. Track behaviors, not outcomes. Mark a simple X for each identity-aligned action. Review weekly for streaks and gaps. Real-world application case study. Sarah. Freelance designer Sarah felt scattered and reactive. She installed a first-hour ritual, water, breathing, top 3, and a 2-minute sketch. She mapped triggers at 9 a.m. and at her desk. She paired rewards, a playlist she loved during design blocks. In 4 weeks, her output doubled without longer hours. The tracker showed 24 design blocks completed. Confidence rose because the evidence was clear. Case study, Marcus. Sales leader Marcus struggled with prospecting. He used the 2-minute momentum rule, open CRM, and log 1 outreach. He stacked it after his morning stand-up. He set a reward, a quick walk in the sun. Prospecting streaks reached 18 days. Revenue followed later, but the identity shift came first. He became the person who always shows up. Common pitfalls. Building habits that are too big. If it fails 3 days in a row, shrink it. Unclear triggers. Write them into your calendar like appointments. Dirty rewards. Avoid rewards that conflict with identity, such as junk food after workouts. Over-tracking. Track 5 behaviors maximum to keep attention clean. All or nothing thinking. If you miss, restart within the next hour. Do not wait for Monday. Key takeaways. Small wins compound. Consistency beats intensity for identity change. Discipline is scheduled, not negotiated. Execution happens regardless of mood. A strong first hour creates momentum and reduces decision fatigue. Track identity-aligned behaviors to build confidence faster than outcome chasing. Triggers, actions, and rewards form the wiring that makes habits automatic. Action items. Write your first hour ritual and practice it tomorrow. Define 2 deep work blocks with 1 clear priority each. Create 3 habit stacks tied to existing routines. Set 1 trigger, 1 action, and 1 reward for your keystone habit. Start the 1% upgrade tracker and mark your first streak today. Chapter conclusion. This system is simple by design. Small entries, clean triggers, scheduled focus, and visible evidence. By running this daily, you will feel the quiet power of compounding consistency. In the next chapter, you will elevate these rhythms into high-value, high-performance standards that hold under pressure. Become a high-value, high-performance version of you stepping into high performance. You have rebuilt from zero. You have a daily upgrade rhythm that moves you 1% at a time. Now it is time to elevate your operating standards and step into high performance. This chapter makes your value measurable and your consistency durable, so your new identity stands strong when pressure rises. Building on the 1% daily upgrade system, you will turn rhythm into reputation. You will install high-value behaviors, create review loops that sharpen execution, and add systems that convert stress into growth. Confidence will stop being a feeling. It will become evidence you can see. Why most potential never converts. Many people work hard, yet their results look average. The problem is not effort, it is misdirected effort. Focus leaks to low-value tasks. Promises are made without reliable delivery. Stress knocks them off rhythm because there is no plan for it. They chase motivation, then slow down when motivation dips. Without boundaries, everything feels urgent. Without review cycles, mistakes repeat. Without evidence, confidence fades. The gap between what you can do and what you actually deliver widens. This chapter closes that gap. The high-value, high-performance model. High performance is built on 3 pillars. First, high-value behaviors. You solve important problems, keep promises, and protect focus. You work standards first, then speed. Second, evidence-based confidence. You log actions, track outcomes, and review weekly. Confidence is earned through evidence, actions logged, and promises kept. Third, resilience systems. You use the anti-fragile stress protocol to turn pressure into progress and performance boundaries to prevent overcommitment. You refine execution through the PACE review. Plan, act, check, evolve. Making the model real. High-value behaviors begin with clarity. Identify your 3 most valuable outcomes for the next quarter. Protect a daily focus block for work that moves those outcomes. Treat that block like a meeting with your future reputation. Evidence-based confidence is not a journal of feelings. It is a scorecard of kept promises. Log 3 things daily: the top task completed, minutes in focus, 1 measurable win. Review the week and highlight 2 improvements. This converts effort into visible progress. The anti-fragile stress protocol has 4 steps. Dose the stress. Choose a manageable challenge, not a flood. Pair the dose with a recovery window, sleep, and a short walk. Extract a lesson with a 2-minute debrief. What worked? Where did friction appear? Increase the dose slightly next time. Stress becomes training, not trauma. Performance boundaries are simple rules. Limit active projects to 3. Close the day with a hard stop that protects sleep. Keep a daily input diet. 3 key sources you trust, not endless scrolling. Create a default no. You only say yes when it advances your top outcomes. The PACE review is your weekly sharpening cycle. Plan your week around outcomes. Act on the plan, then check daily. What moved? What stuck? Evolve the plan every Friday. Remove bottlenecks, adjust slots, upgrade standards. Putting it to work, define 3 high-value outcomes. Write clear, measurable results you aim to deliver in the next 12 weeks. Protect a focus fort. Schedule 1 90-minute block daily for outcome work. Remove notifications, clear your desk, set a single task. Build the evidence ledger. Track top task, focus minutes, 1 win, 5 days a week. Review every Friday. Install performance boundaries. Limit projects to 3, set a daily hard stop, pick 3 trusted inputs, adopt default no. Run the anti-fragile stress protocol. Pick 1 stressor weekly, public presentation, tighter deadline, new skill, and pair it with sleep protection and a 2-minute debrief. Execute the PACE review. Plan Sunday, act daily, check each evening, evolve Friday. Script quick resets. Create 3 lines. When I drift, I stand, breathe for 60 seconds, choose the next visible action. Practice this until it is automatic. Field notes and case studies. Aisha, a product manager, reduced meetings and protected a 90-minute focus block. She logged actions and wins daily. Within 8 weeks, she shipped 2 features ahead of schedule and became the person her team trusted for delivery. Her confidence grew because her ledger proved it. Marco, a fitness coach, used the anti-fragile stress protocol during launch season. He increased client load by 15% while adding sleep protection and a 2-minute nightly debrief. He felt pressure, then watched his capacity rise. He kept 3 active projects only: client growth, content pipeline, onboarding system. No more burnout cycles. Nina, a solo creator, adopted the PACE review. Every Friday, she removed 1 bottleneck. In month 1, she fixed her messy file system. In month 2, she simplified her calendar. In month 3, she automated invoicing. Her creative hours doubled without working longer. Mistakes to avoid. Under pressure, do not confuse activity with outcomes. Protect your focus block daily. Do not add projects when excited. Respect the 3-project limit. Do not skip sleep to win a single day. Protect energy to win the month. Do not stop reviewing when things feel good. Keep the pace cycle running so drift never builds. Key takeaways. High-value work is focus-protected and outcome-driven. Confidence grows when you log actions and keep promises. Stress can become training using the anti-fragile stress protocol. Performance boundaries prevent overcommitment and protect energy. The pace review turns effort into mastery by removing bottlenecks. Actions you can take today. Write your 3 high-value outcomes for the next 12 weeks. Book a daily 90-minute focus block for outcome work. Start the evidence ledger with top task, focus minutes, 1 win. Set your 3 performance boundaries and default no. Schedule a weekly pace review on Friday afternoon. Locking in your upgrade. You now have the tools to operate at high value and high performance. You will earn trust through consistent delivery, sharpen your edge through weekly reviews, and grow stronger under pressure. In the next chapter, Never Rebuild Twice, you will lock this identity in place and build relapse-proof systems that keep you aligned for life. Never Rebuild Twice. Staying Unshakable Chapter Introduction. You're rebuilt from zero and raised your standards. Now the real test begins, keeping your identity aligned when life gets loud. The goal of this chapter is simple. Make your new self relapse-proof. Not through hype, through systems that detect drift early, correct fast, and renew confidence on demand. Building on what you created in Become a High-Value, High-Performance version of you, you will lock that identity in place. You will design routines that catch micro-slips, create bounce-back protocols for stressful seasons, and schedule reviews that keep you sharp. This is how you avoid the cycle of rebuild, relapse, rebuild again. The problem, most people fall because they do not see the slide. It starts with late starts, skipped reviews, vague planning, and quick dopamine binges. One missed habit silently becomes a week. The identity dissolves, not in a crisis, but in small compromises. Without a maintenance plan, momentum depends on mood. When pressure rises, standards drift. The result is the same old rebuild loop. The solution framework. Think of this as your identity lock system. It has 5 parts: red flag map and corrective actions, identity maintenance schedule, bounce back playbook, accountability stack, seasonal reset protocol. Each part anticipates friction, catches drift, and restores alignment quickly. You are engineering consistency, not hoping for it. Deep dive. Red flag map and corrective actions. List the early signs of drift. Examples: late wake-ups, extra social scrolling, skipped pace review, cluttered workspace, vague daily plan. Pair each red flag with 1 corrective action. Late start, do a 3-minute reset breath, write a 2-line plan, and begin with your keystone habit. Skipped review, complete a 5-minute pace mini-check before lunch. Cluttered space, 2-minute desk sweep and remove 1 distraction item. Vague plan, write 1 mission, 3 steps, 1 deadline. Identity maintenance schedule. Scheduled alignment prevents decision fatigue. Weekly review, scoreboard update, wins, misses, next week priorities, and 1 constraint to protect focus. Monthly recalibration, review metrics, refine routines, upgrade 1 standard, retire 1 drag. Quarterly reset, clean environment, simplify tools, recommit to keystone habits, and set 2 outcome goals. As Peter Drucker said, what gets measured gets managed. Bounce back playbook. During slumps or high-stress seasons, you need minimum viable outputs. Choose the smallest version of your key habits that keeps your identity alive. For example, write 2 paragraphs, do 15 minutes of training, send 1 high-value email, and complete a 3-minute pace check. Add environment cleanses, airplane mode blocks, remove 1 app from your phone, relocate to a quiet space, and put your focus timer on the desk. A simplified routine plus minimum viable output preserves momentum until energy returns. Accountability stack. Pick a style that fits you. Personal scorecard, daily check marks, and weekly trend lines. Partner check-ins, 5-minute call twice a week. Share wins and 1 commitment. Public commitments. Post a weekly recap and next week's mission to a small group. Accountability is not punishment. It is a mirror and a magnet that pulls you forward. Seasonal reset protocol. Life changes. Your identity must adapt. When conditions shift, adjust standards without lowering the bar. Ask, what is essential, what becomes minimal, what stops. Redesign routines to fit the season, then set a clear exit date. This avoids collapse and keeps you consistent across waves of work, family, or health demands. Implementation strategy. Step 1. Create your red flag map. Write 5 personal red flags and match each with one fast corrective action. Step 2. Build your identity maintenance schedule. Place weekly reviews on the same day and time, monthly recalibrations on your calendar, and quarterly resets with a simple agenda. Step 3. Write your bounce-back playbook. Define minimum viable outputs for your top 3 habits, add 2 environment cleanses, and 1 emergency routine for busy days. Step 4. Select your accountability stack. Decide on a scorecard, a partner, or a small public commitment. Set the cadence now. Step 5. Draft your seasonal reset protocol. Identify a likely high-stress window, pre-plan the adjusted routine, and set a return to full output date. Real-world application. Nate, a sales manager, noticed his red flags, late mornings and phone scrolling before work. He set a corrective action, phone in kitchen at night, 2-line plan on a sticky note each morning. His weekly review tracked calls made, proposals sent, and follow-ups. During a tough quarter, he used minimum viable outputs, 10 calls, 1 proposal, and 1 follow-up a day. His scorecard kept him honest. His partner check-ins kept him steady. Revenue recovered by month 2. Amira, a desire, faced a new baby and sleep disruption. Her seasonal reset protocol reduced creative blocks to 45 minutes, kept 1 client touchpoint a day, and protected 1 hour for sleep recovery. She used environment cleanses, laptop only on the dining table, phone in a drawer during the block. Her identity stayed intact. When the season passed, she scaled back to full output without rebuilding. Common pitfalls: over-engineering the system. Complex tools invite avoidance. Keep it simple and visible. Treating minimum viable outputs as permanent, they are for seasons, not standards. Skipping reviews when feeling behind. Reviews are the fix, not a reward. Choosing accountability that does not match your style. Pick the smallest effective mirror. Ignoring environment. Clutter and noise create friction you cannot out-willpower. Key takeaways. Consistency is engineered through schedules, scorecards, and simple rules. Early detection of microslips makes recovery fast and painless. Minimum viable outputs keep your identity alive during pressure. Reviews and recalibrations prevent drift and sharpen focus. Adaptive standards maintain alignment when life conditions change. Action items. Write 5 red flags and pair each with 1 corrective action. Schedule weekly reviews, monthly recalibrations, and quarterly resets. Define minimum viable outputs for your top 3 habits. Choose 1 accountability method and set the cadence. Draft a seasonal reset protocol for your next high-stress window. Chapter conclusion. You do not need to rebuild twice when you maintain daily. With your identity lock system in place, setbacks become signals, not stories. Confidence returns through action. Alignment stays because it is scheduled, and your new self becomes your normal. In the closing section, you will consolidate your commitments and make a final declaration that anchors your standards for the long term. Conclusion. You made it. You stayed for the hard truths, faced the mirror without flinching, and chose growth over comfort. That choice matters. It signals a shift from drifting to driving, from hoping to executing. You walked through the pain of staying the same, decoded the illusion of a fixed identity, made decisive cuts, and built a clean new foundation. You designed a disciplined routine, raised your standards, and learned how to protect momentum when pressure increases. You did not just consume ideas. You assembled a new operating system, and you proved it with action. You have changed. You now see pain as usable energy rather than a reason to stall. You understand identity as a living system, shaped by environment, stories, and behaviors, and you have begun editing that system with evidence. You replaced legacy labels with role-based choices. You removed friction, cleaned your inputs, and installed boundaries that keep your focus safe. You set higher standards, turned them into simple behaviors, and built a rhythm that survives low motivation days. Most importantly, you earned a new kind of self-trust, not fragile belief, but confidence that comes from promises kept. Across these chapters, you mastered practical frameworks that make change durable. You used subtraction first, redesigning spaces and routines so your desired actions became easier than your old patterns. You created a 0-day blueprint with values, roles, and non-negotiables that define your day. You built an identity scorecard and a keystone habit chain to anchor mornings, transitions, and evenings. You set a North Star, then connected it to a weekly rhythm builder, so planning, execution, and review are consistent. You adopted the 2-minute momentum rule for instant starts, the daily commitments matrix to convert standards into time slots, and the tag loop to hardwire routines. You tracked evidence with the 1% upgrade tracker, refined with pace reviews, and fortified resilience through the anti-fragile stress protocol and performance boundaries. You practiced scriptable responses for temptation and emotional spikes, and you learned quick resets that bring you back on track in minutes. Finally, you installed maintenance with an identity maintenance schedule, a bounce-back playbook, seasonal resets, and accountability anchors to ensure you never rebuild twice. To turn these tools into results, move with clarity and speed. Write your current identity statement, the role you choose today, and one behavior that proves it. Run a first hour that is phone-free, keystone-focused, and guided by one priority. Fill your identity scorecard for the next 7 days using the 0-1-2 scale and logging only behaviors that match your standards. Schedule 2 protected focus blocks, one in the morning and one in the afternoon, then guard them with boundaries. Apply the 2-minute momentum rule to start the hardest action today, then expand once momentum is alive. End each day with a brief review, note one win, one improvement, and choose the next action. Complete a pace review at week's end, then adjust one standard and one system for the next cycle. When friction returns, remember that drift is part of the process. Catch micro slips early with your red flags, late starts, skipped reviews, dopamine binges, and vague plans. Run the bounce-back playbook immediately. Clean your environment, simplify your routine, deliver a minimum viable output, and protect sleep and recovery. Keep inputs light, anchor your keystone habits, and use scriptable responses to decline low-value commitments. Do not wait for motivation. Start small, start now, and let evidence rebuild confidence fast. You are not alone in this. A designer who feared deadlines used the 2-minute momentum rule to sketch daily for 3 minutes, logged actions on the 1% upgrade tracker, and scaled work blocks over a month. The result was a reliable portfolio and calm delivery under pressure. A parent leading a growing business cut late-night inputs, ran the weekly rhythm builder, and tightened performance boundaries to protect focus. During a chaotic quarter, they used the seasonal reset protocol, simplified standards, and maintained minimum viable outputs. The identity stayed intact, and results continued to compound. Begin today. In the next 10 minutes, set your first hour, write your identity statement, and confirm your single priority. Share your commitment with a partner or post a public note. Then place your scorecard where you will see it. Tomorrow morning, honor your first hour, deliver your one priority, and log the win. At week's end, conduct your pace review, recalibrate, and recommit. Repeat the cycle until the new identity is the only identity you trust. You have everything you need. You have clarity, tools, and a system that respects reality. You know how to create momentum from nothing, protect focus under pressure, and recover quickly when life hits hard. Keep your standards simple, your actions scheduled, and your proof visible. Let your reputation be built on reliability. Let your confidence be earned through evidence. This is your moment to choose alignment every day. Destroy the old you as often as required, and rebuild from zero with calm authority. Then stay unshakable. Execute the next small action, collect the next piece of evidence, and keep your promise again. Start now. Do not wait. The person you become begins with the next minute. Make it count. Identity Scorecard and Weekly Review Template 0. Bonus material, title and overview, Identity Scorecard and Weekly Review Template. A fillable system to track identity-aligned behaviors across focus, health, relationships, craft, and finance. 1. Purpose and benefits. This template turns your standards into measurable actions, builds confidence through evidence, and reveals drift. It connects North Star outcomes to the actions that truly move life forward with momentum. 2. How to use. Print or use digitally. Choose 2 to 4 critical behaviors per domain. Score them daily. 0 equals missed, 1 equals partial, 2 equals full. Complete the weekly pace review on the same day each week. 3. Main Content Identity Scorecard, North Star Outcomes, Top 3 Critical Behaviors mapped to each outcome. Focus, example, 2 deep work blocks, score, daily health. Example, sleep 7+ hours, score, daily. Relationships, example, 1 meaningful deposit, score, daily. Craft, example, skill practice for 45 minutes, score, daily. Finance, example, expense review for 5 minutes, score, daily. Energy inputs, sleep, movement, nutrition. Deep work blocks, start time, end time, location. Relationship deposits, person, action, follow-up. Daily scores, record 0 or 1 or 2 for each behavior. Weekly review, pace plan, choose 2 improvements next week. Act, confirm schedule and environment resets. Check, totals, wins, evidence, trends, integrity gaps. Evolve, refine behaviors, simplify routines. Drift signals, late starts, skipped rituals, distraction spikes, social media loops. Corrective actions, environment reset, simplified routine, keystone habit focus. Notes, lessons, ideas, scripts for recurring scenarios. 4. Examples. Case, Alex wants better focus and health. North Star outcomes, launch portfolio project, regain energy. Critical behaviors, 2 deep work blocks, evening device off, in bed by 10:30. After week 1, totals show deep work 5 of 10, sleep 8 of 10. Alex schedules a morning walk and blocks a phone-free workspace. 5. Tips for success. Keep behaviors simple and observable. Review at a fixed time each week. Limit improvements to 2 per cycle. Keep the template visible. Common mistakes T. Tracking too many behaviors. Vague actions without a clear success definition. Skipping the check step. Ignoring energy inputs. 7. Next steps. Link your chapters. Destroy the old you by removing behaviors that score 0 repeatedly. Rebuild from 0 by installing 2 keystone habits. Use the 1% daily upgrade to raise scores steadily and stay unshakable. Relapse-proof protocol checklist. Relapse-proof protocol checklist overview, a rapid system to catch drift early, restore standards, and protect the rebuilt identity during stress. Keep this visible and run it whenever you feel scattered or tempted to slide back. Purpose and benefits. Prevents erosion, compresses recovery, builds trust in your new standards. Turns vague intent into clear actions under pressure. How to use. Print or pin. When a signal appears, check it, run the corrective, then complete the bounce-back playbook within 24 hours. Finish with pace and a fresh daily commitments matrix. Main content. Early warning signals, check any that apply. Late wake-up or scattered first hour. Skipped review of goals or plan. High dopamine binges, endless scroll or junk inputs. Vague planning or unstructured tasks. Messy desk, notification chaos, tab overload. Matching correctives, do 3 in sequence. First hour, restore, phone-free, keystone habit, single priority. Environment cleanse, desk reset, notification purge, tab lockdown. Minimum viable output, 1 non-negotiable deliverable shipped. Stress protocol for high-pressure weeks. Simplified routine pre-commit, same wake, same first block. Protect sleep, 8 hours target and wind down. Limit inputs, 1 news source, 0 gossip. Schedule recovery blocks, light movement and sunlight. Boundary scripts, say calmly, I cannot take that right now. My current priority is X. I can deliver Y by date Z. If you need earlier, we can adjust scope. That is off strategy for me. Let us revisit next month. Bounce back playbook, same day reset, hydration, movement, sunlight. 2-item priority list, 30-minute deep work container. Review and recommit, pace. Past slip, name the trigger. Achievements, what still worked. Changes, 1 tweak to protect standards. Execute, set a fresh daily commitments matrix. Daily commitments matrix, template. Identity standard, keystone habit. Single output. Protectors, sleep and environment. Signals to watch, corrective to run. Examples, case 1, scattered morning. You check signals, run first hour restore, ship 1 output, then log a pace note. Momentum returns by noon. Case 2, heavy workload week. You simplify routine, decline 1 meeting with a boundary script, protect sleep, and output stays steady. Tips for success, keep it visible, act within 1 hour, celebrate small wins. Common mistakes, waiting too long, changing too much, skipping sleep. Next steps, integrate with Chapter 7 to stay unshakable through setbacks.